Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Gang warfare strikes another violent blow in the heart of New Orleans, with the New Orleans shooting 11 victims near the French Quarter. This is particularly pertinent given their shooting 3 years ago, and they enacted more gun control after that. The result of which, of course, has not seen the result that they were hoping for, if they were actually hoping to save lives and not just control the population. If they were hoping for the latter, then yes, it's worked. And of course, it doesn't strike to the heart of the problem, which is gang-related. That is almost always the biggest problem, and the same we see over here in Liverpool, of course. So this is also prevalent given that it is near the tourist destination, so it is near the busiest place for people who would not be affiliated with the gangs. And a clear motive has not yet been published. But given that the vast majority of this from before has all been gang-related, there is no clear gunman. They didn't know where the shots were coming from, who was involved and who wasn't. It does seem as if it is yet again gang-related, and it is not an act of terrorism. New Orleans does tend to have these problems, as does any city, when they have a Gini coefficient. That is a big disparity between the rich and the poor. And of course there isn't enough support for the children who are growing up. Broken homes, fatherlessness, they don't have the support that they need, the moral framework in order to guide them to a more fulfilling life, and instead resort to a world of gang and drugs. So, police in New Orleans say there have been 11 victims of a shooting incident near the French Quarter tourist hub. They have recently, very recently, downgraded this to 10 though, and there are still 2 people dead. 2 people are in critical condition with shots to the chest and torso respectively. No fatalities have been reported now too. And also, it's worth noting that although the victims have all been taken to the hospital, there was one gentleman who just walked into the hospital with gunshot wounds. He was shot and he was like, I suppose I better get myself to the hospital then. There we are. It's just those kind of guys. And the same was in the UK a while ago when a man, his son, the man was shot. He just drove to the hospital and just walked in saying, yeah, I've been shot. Would you mind? Cheers. It's brilliant just how calm people are. So, okay, straight to the hospital. There we go. The incident took place on Canal Street between Bourbon and Chartres Street at about 3:20 local time. Police said on their Twitter feed that one suspect had been apprehended at the scene. They later said the person's possible involvement was still under investigation and no arrest had yet been made, nor the details have been given. Video footage from the scene showed numerous police vehicles cordoning off the area as forensic teams made checks. The bit that I'd like to focus on is that local media quoted Police Superintendent Sean Ferguson as saying officers on the 700 block of Canal Street at the time believed they were being fired upon. And that unfortunately there were so many people out here we were unable to determine who was actually firing shots at the time. We do not know how it started, which suggests to me that it is also gang related and no police officers were hurt. It didn't seem to be just somebody going in on a mass killing spree trying to kill innocent bystanders, but it was more targeted and people caught in the crossfire. And people becoming more brazen, of course, as they feel the degeneracy of society and they don't have any good moral standing in order to defend themselves and uphold for themselves, and in order to feel like they can make a difference in life. When people are continuously told what to do and they're not given reward, appreciation or gratification for the things that they are doing right, people tend to just do the things that they feel makes a difference straight away. And killing people or putting a gun on someone tends to make you the most important person in that person's life at that particular time. They mentioned that on the same weekend in 2016, a man was killed and 9 other people wounded in a shooting on Bourbon Street. And in June 2014, another shooting incident on Bourbon Street left 1 person dead and 9 injured. But there was one earlier in 2016 that left 9 people dead. I believe that was considered gang-related at the time. So that's what we have there. Same number of dead as when using a knife, which suggests to me that if somebody does want to cause harm, doesn't really matter what they have. Given here that it is also a touristy destination and that there are several gun-free zones, or as they're colloquially known as victim hunting zones, around the city, that is this kind of thing that means that innocent bystanders cannot be armed and therefore they are subject to whatever the evil people of the day wish to do to them, including shooting them dead. But as always, let me know what you guys think down below. Would more gun control help? Is this just another story and it's going to get washed down the memory hole before too long, just like the London Bridge incident? Or is there something actually we can do? How do you think, given that I would say it's down to societal degeneracy as well as families falling apart, how do you think we can fix that problem at its core instead of just putting a plaster on a bleeding wound, which is what gun control tends to do? Always intrigued to hear what you guys have to say below. Thank you, as always, for watching. Have a lovely week ahead, and I will see you next time.